So this is a story about how a very cheap Xbox 360 and a smidge of crime reignited my love of gaming and kept me sane later on in life.
Domination.
To give you some perspective, I was born in January of 1990, so I didn't grow up with online gaming, or not on console anyway. The experiences I had with multiplayer online gaming were things like RuneScape, Street Fighter Online, Tactics Arena, and stuff on a computer mainly. Like many people from my generation, gaming was more something to fill gaps when the weather was shit on weekends, usually playing the same few games on last year's consoles. While online multiplayer console gaming did start taking off in my mid to late teens, having been preoccupied with more outdoor sports such as BMXing, skateboarding, scootering, don't judge, and then later on cars and motorbikes, I had unknowingly missed the boat. But you can't miss what you never had, so life goes on. Roll on 2009-2010, and I had found a penchant for crime, which inevitably led to me being put on house arrest. So with my newfound lack of liberty, a friend offered to sell me his Xbox 360 with a couple of games for the princely sum of 80 Great British pounds. One of those games included the absolute beauty that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I had a little bit of experience with the game, having played it at my friend's on said Xbox prior to acquiring it, but this was in a much more casual setting, taken in turns amongst other mates, and with them being much more acquainted with the franchise, having played COD 4 and World at War, they were definitely more proficient, and I absolutely fucking sucked. So with the Xbox firmly in my possession, I spent the next few weeks grinding it out, trying to level up, unlocking classes, and just generally trying to suck less. While this mission was accomplished to some degree, I found my liberties reinstated, and the Xbox quickly found its way to the back of the cupboard. In the not too distant future, we enter what I call my knee-gate phase. Having had trouble with my knees for years, and still having trouble to this day, I managed to completely obliterate the soft tissue in and around my knee, leading to a pretty invasive surgery and not being able to weight bear for a couple of months, meaning I was literally limited to a bed or a chair. So with the grace of a crawling zombie, back to the cupboard I go to retrieve that little white immersion heater, but also a new disc to accompany it. Enter Black Ops 1 and what would soon become an obsession, the start of a love-hate relationship with Call of Duty and a newfound love of gaming. This would have been around September of 2011, so Black Ops would have been out for nigh on a year, but was still the current COD regardless, and obviously still extremely busy online. Fate works in funny ways. Had it not been for me previously being a reprobate, I don't think I would have ended up online gaming at all, let alone Call of Duty. The fact was, as from previous experience, this was an easy way to keep myself occupied in my time of need. I was extremely lucky to have this all line up with what I consider the golden age of gaming, and definitely the golden age of Call of Duty. While I definitely missed out on the early days of COD, looking back, the best was yet to come. So I was very grateful to have gotten involved when I did. The state of COD these days does make me sad, but at one point it was great, and it was a blessing to have experienced it at that time. Anyway, I digress. As you can imagine, being resigned to a bed or chair for the foreseeable few months should have been torture, or tedious at the very least. But with my newfound love of online gaming, and specifically Call of Duty Black Ops 1, it was anything but. I distinctly remember my first game. It was Team Deathmatch, Nuketown, and I joined partway through, and I literally got my cheeks clapped hard. I remember getting about 1 kill and 20 plus deaths. This was long before skill-based matchmaking could sweep in to save the day. So the game ends, the lobby doesn't disband, you cast your vote for the next map, you choose from one of the pre-made weapons because I hadn't leveled up enough yet, and I re-established myself as the lobby's glory hole, getting fucked from every angle. This steep, almost sadistic learning curve kept me engaged and just wanting to get better, wanting to be at the top of the leaderboard. The non-disbanding lobbies helping me to create healthy rivalries with similarly unskilled players, and eventually actually making friends, which takes me on to the next chapter in my online gaming journey. The wealth of time I had available to me was obviously far greater than my friends. Now being 21, all of my mates were busy during the day with work, and others busy most evenings with other commitments, which is why the lobbies not disbanding was such a huge factor in keeping me sane. Getting to build those rivalries with other players, the in-game chat banter, and the eventual friendships that formed doesn't happen today. You never felt alone playing these games in their heyday. The only reason it's sad to see the state Call of Duty is in these days is because of how fucking awesome it was, which in reality isn't such a bad thing. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. I still game as much as possible, but these days I make the time rather than use it to fill the time. Having an achievement to complete or a mission to finish is just a healthy challenge and a way to socialise with the boys amongst our busy schedule of trying to earn enough money to pay for energy drinks and cat food. The best bit of all of this though, most of these games are still alive in some capacity today. You will run into the occasional hacker and cheater, but far less than previously. And if you play Warzone these days, you're probably used to it anyway. I still get into lobbies on Modern Warfare 2 and 3, Black Ops 1 and 2, and still dabble in a bit of Black Ops 4, World War 2 and Cold War, which I know aren't really that old, but anything older than 6 months is considered out of date these days. I picked up a copy of Modern Warfare 3, the original one, a copy of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 4 for a mate for his birthday recently. We're working through the Spec Ops on Modern Warfare 3, the zombies on Black Ops 2, and a bit of everything on Black Ops 4. These games still have a lot to offer today. They are fairly cheap to pick up a physical copy of, so the value for money is unquestionable. I haven't bought a new COD since Cold War, and to be honest, it's going to have to be something pretty spectacular to make me buy another one. There is still so much to do and offer on these older games. The frustration the newer ones cause just isn't worth the time in my opinion. Sat here now with a dodgy knee, playing the older games with my mates, it feels like I've gone full circle, back to where it all started. Just a little bit less crime this time around. I know this video seemed like it went off on a bit of a tangent, but I suppose it's all about fate and how it works in strange ways. I'm not saying to go out and be a delinquent and hope for the best, but if you're happy where you are and where you're going, savour the moment and enjoy the ride. You may not get another go round. And if you made it this far, I don't know whether to say thank you or apologise.
We're close to victory. Hold the line. Enemy P-52 incoming. Losing B.
Tango down. Changing mag.
Counter spy plane standing by. Counter spy plane up. They're blind. Enemy sentry gun inbound. Mission accomplished. Good work.